everybody, and welcome to Deadpool Rob's Geek Chat episode 9. I'm Deadpool Rob, as you should know by now. This week is going to be an insanely long episode, so sit tight. Hopefully you enjoy it. This week is Mental Health Awareness Week, as we all know. We're all going through something, so just be nice to each other is the main message, and it is okay to not be okay. I've got Darren coming on for one interview, which is pre-recorded. Darren is an amazing friend of mine now. He is a cosplayer. He did the charity walk with me last year. He's very active on the group. You may have seen him as, hang on, I'm going to try and drag it in. Oh, no, move myself. Wait. There it is. This one. There he is. Hey, looking good, man. That's one of his cosplays. Star-Lord. And delete that. Now, if I can get the other one right. And he's also... He is also Deadpool. He's got the most awesome suit. It is a massive step up from my homemade one. It is awesome. I'm quite jealous. But he's coming on for an interview to talk about a little project he's starting up, which you'll see in the interview. Talk about some personal experiences as well. And then I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to call some other people. Darren's going to come back and help me out, just as a bit of support for me, because this is a long episode. We've got Joshua coming back on. He's been on a few times now. Got John coming back on as well. We've got Loki Fuller coming on as well, hopefully. And also the White Knight is appearing as well. He's going to come on with a surprise. He's going to tell us a few things he's been up to. Just a bit of background about himself. And like I said, a big surprise. So even I don't know what it is yet. But first of all, we'll do the usual. I want to talk about some geeky stuff. Bad Batch on Disney Plus. I mean, a lot of people have said, Gaz has said, Joshua's said, a few others as well. You need to see the Clone Wars first. Ideally, in an ideal world, you'd have sat and watched all billion seasons of Clone Wars. I went the other way. I'm miles behind. I jumped straight in, because I'm only on about 2 or 3, I think, of Clone Wars. I jumped in, watched Bad Batch, episode 1 and 2. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It jumps in at a point that any Star Wars fan will know. You might not know a few of the characters, but you'll pick it up quick enough. I enjoyed it. Recommended by me. I'm going to be quick, because this is going to be a long episode. Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. I really enjoyed, actually. If you're wondering, when you're watching it, if you sit there and do what I do, who's the dude with the grey hair and the beard, man? Who is it? It's the guy that was in the Transformers movies, the first couple anyway. Now you'll know. Oh yeah, shit. Thanks, Deadpool Rob. You're welcome. I really enjoyed it. At first, it sort of Emma noticed it, actually. The sort of when they were coming in, landing, they were a bit really. I don't know if it was special effects gone wrong. I can't talk, I can't fly, and I can't do special effects. But it got better. Fight scenes were cool. Baddie was cool. The story's good, and it opens up another series, doesn't it? So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Another recommend, definitely, if you've got the time to watch these things. Next one, Netflix again, smashing it, absolutely smashing it. Shadow and Bone. Myself and Emma watched it. We pretty much watched it in one afternoon and evening, actually, because it was one of those ones that it was hard to stop. When it ended on another episode, so we had to carry on till the end. Really good. Good story, good characters, good acting, all round good. And once again, it's left it at a point that it opens up for another season. I'm looking forward to that, actually. That's really good. So this is now, what are we on, Tuesday? So yesterday, oh actually this comes out on Wednesday, so 2 days ago, Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage trailer come out. You've all seen it by now, I'm sure. If not, I've shared it on the group, and so has a billion other people. Freaking awesome. Absolutely awesome. Oh, I'm not swearing in this episode, so if I swear, tell me off. Yeah, Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage. It's going to be amazing. There's no way in hell this film is going to be bad. Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock is insanely good. He is awesome. Pretty much anything he does, really. He's quite clearly struggling with the whole having the venom inside him. And he's a bit... But then you've got Woody Harrelson, who is an insanely good actor anyway. He's completely messed up, because obviously he's got Carnage. And they obviously bat it out at some point. So there's a few other people in there as well that you'll recognise. It's there's no way in hell this is going to be bad. Loki, still we're waiting for. Seen a couple of trailers, looks awesome. It's going to be good. Once again, Marvel and Disney are smashing these series out at the moment. It's going to be insane. MODOK, it's going to be, I think it's an R-rated, correct me if I'm wrong, R-rated animated series. Looks good. Amazing cast. Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to that as well. And the bit that made me laugh this week is, you've all seen it by now, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, Bucky went down, squished the shield. That shield is meant to be pretty much indestructible, apart from obviously Thanos' blade smashed it up, but you know what I mean. And certainly in Falcon and Winter Soldier, it should have been invincible, unbreakable, whatever you want to call it, but it's squished. It was brilliant, man. It was absolutely brilliant. How somebody spotted it, and now it's the biggest thing on the internet. Yeah, awesome. Not much in the way of geeky purchases. I'm still reading comics from last week. I just haven't had 5 minutes myself. I've just finished Batman and Catwoman issue 2. Awesome cover. These colours are insane. I love it. It's a very dark series. It's very different to what I've read before, actually, because I sort of tend to stick to sort of Deadpool or Marvel comics normally. A few Batman ones I've read over the years, but so this is very different. There's a few different storylines going on, but Gaz has assured me that it will make sense in the end. So I've got two more to work through, and then I'm going to be seeing Sophie at Fantastic Store, dropping it to get me the latest ones. Hopefully she can get them in for me. I'm sure she can. She'll do her best. I did visit Fantastic Store this week for a cup of tea and a catch up. They are doing well. Looking forward to seeing you guys still. Yeah, so things are going well. I have managed to finally get myself a signed comic book. I've been after it for a while now. These centerpieces, it's something that not everyone can have a pop vinyl, you know what I mean? Something that not everyone's got. My New Mutants first appearance of Cable, centre spot. Absolute centre spot, I love it. And yes, amazing. But signed comic I managed to get. Obviously being a huge Teenage Mutant Hero or Ninja Turtles fan from a very young age, Kevin Eastman is one of the co-creators of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Hero Turtles back then. Look at that cover. I'm hoping the glare doesn't take it, but look at that cover. Oh, it's insane. And also signed by the man himself. There we go. There we go. There it is. Just about see it. Sorry about the glare. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, so fingers crossed it's a real deal and I haven't been done out of a lot of money. It wasn't mega bucks, but it was still a lot of money. I framed it. The certificate's in the back, and that's going to be on the wall in the living room next to first appearance of Cable. I've got a Rob Liefeld variant cover signed by him on its way as well, so they'll be front and centre. Can't wait. That should be due soon. Hopefully, I've been waiting ages for that. I think that's it, actually. I want to talk about, I'm going to smash these interviews out with Darren, Loki, John, Josh, and the White Knight himself. Yeah, so I'm going to crack on with that now. I'll see you guys just after. Hey, Darren, welcome to Deadpool Rob's Geek Chat. First time ever on the show. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Yourself?
Yeah, all good. I see your Deadpool mask in the background.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah, I brought mine out to play tonight as well.
Yeah, I was just work on it. So
yeah, I must admit, I've just pulled mine out. Mine's looking a bit. There's like a chip there.
Yeah.
It's certainly seen better days, but it's had its use. You know what I mean? I'm sure yours has as well, obviously. So.
Yeah, it's mainly the lenses. It's the lenses, obviously, they're magnetised, so you have to clean them up every so often. Otherwise, you have a wonky eye.
You're winking at me, Deadpool. Anyway, this week is all about mental health. It's Mental Health Week, National Mental Health Week, whatever it is. So that is a topic that is very close to many of us, myself, yourself included, from knowing you a few years now. Yeah, you've got a little project coming up you want to talk about. I want to talk about your cosplay making skills, your involvement in cosplay, and any advice to future cosplayers, be it brand new, experienced, or anyone that is suffering a little bit of mental health, anxiety, crack on. You got the helm, Captain.
Well, basically, I got into cosplay because I was suffering at the time from depression and anxiety, which we'll relate to later on. And someone just said to me, "You've got to get out. Why don't you put a mask on?" And it was as simple as that.
Yeah.
Star-Lord was the first one I did.
Excellent.
Then I did a crossover, so I went from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to Guardians of the Galaxy 2. First one I went to was Portsmouth Comic Con.
Yep.
Didn't do Star-Lord that day. I
Okay.
actually went punk.
You went as what, sorry?
Steampunk. Just over steam. Nothing too over elaborate. And then the first Star-Lord came out at the Port Solent.
Oh, right.
So the free one. And I went by myself and I froze to the spot. I got stuck there. I couldn't move more than 2 feet. And it's when you discover the cosplay family, because people were coming up to me asking for photographs in cosplay, and you think, wow, I've achieved something here. I mean, I didn't spend a lot of money on it. It was a cheap costume, but it looked the business.
Yeah.
I had the cheapest guns you could possibly have and stuff like that. But it's the fact that people were actually coming up to you. And when they come up to you, it gives you that lift. Yeah. When you see kids up to you, it gives you the lift. And then when you get people who say, oh, it's a great costume, you think, wow, I have actually done something. But, it's when you're in that moment, you just think, wow, this is something else.
You've just by turning up and being in this, be it a 50 quid costume, £1,000 costume, you've made, even if it's one person's day, I say it's worth it. You know what I mean? But as Definitely. You well know, that at a Comic-Con, you are making literally hundreds, thousands of people's day just by being there, being in character as best you can, even if you're not in character. I mean, I don't do the voice. I don't know about you, but I don't do the Deadpool voice. I can't do accents, obviously. But yeah, just messing around and taking pictures and being with people is enough to lift their spirits, which is one of the topics we'll get into in a minute. You know what I mean? So,
and then say I went from there and I thought to myself, oh, I quite fancy doing Deadpool, because with Deadpool you can be a little bit naughty, but not over the top. Yeah. You can be, and you can have a bit of a laugh with people, so you're not being too serious. Whereas if you go for certain costumes, you have to be serious. Yeah. You can't be a zany Batman, for example. You can't be a zany judge. Star Wars stuff, you can't really break character with Star Wars. If you're Chewbacca, you're Chewbacca. You can't really do anything else with it. So that, I mean, that's Deadpool was the easy one to choose. I spent a lot building the costume, and I wasn't going to debut it until I was happy with it. I mean, we're talking probably £1,800, £1,900
easily. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the mask cost as much as the actual suit. So MCM. Dive in at the deep end, why not? So went up to London, and I couldn't walk more than 3 steps without photographs being taken.
Yeah.
And that was Star-Lord for that one, and then a little bit of Deadpool in the afternoon just to get out of it. But I was exhausted, and the mental strain when you're doing like a comic, you at the end of the day you just go and fall in the big heap in the car on the way back. But yeah, really enjoyed that. And it's when you get to see people in costume and out of costume, you understand why they do it. Some people, high anxiety, high stress levels, certain mental health issues, autism, anything like that, and they love it. And you are a different person when you're in it, and you actually learn to say, right, okay, then I can have a bit of fun. I can be out of my comfort zone, and that's the great thing about it. So when you're out, and you can go, I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a bit of fun here. Not go totally mad, but you can have a bit of fun and go, I really enjoyed that, and you feel the enormous. You do feel health benefits from it because the endorphins get going and everything else. You do feel so much better when you've done it, and especially when you, like you said earlier, about getting people running up to you. Can I have your photograph, please? Can I have your photograph, please? And that just, you go, wow.
It makes you feel you're doing something right, doesn't it? That you've turned up, you look the part. Be it, like I said, be it a 50 quid costume or £1,000 costume, it doesn't matter. You know, it's nice to have the proper one that looks screen accurate. We all want that. You know what I mean? But if you turn up and have that positive attitude that, you know, people are going to come up to you, take their pictures, blah, blah, blah. And you, like I said, you made that person's day. So yeah, you're going to feel good at the end of the day because you made all those people's days. So yeah, it's got its plus points all over, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like you say, you don't have to spend an awful lot of money. You can build a costume pounds and pence, really. It just depends on how far you want to go. Obviously, once you get the bug, then that's it. You unlucky, you aren't getting out of it.
that's the downside. Your bank balance does not like cosplay if you want to do screen accuracy, which is what the big boys look for, but not for all of us. You know what I mean? So,
but it's just if ever you feel, you know, you want to get into something, if I can't do it, all you've got to do is message someone and say, look, will you go to this event with me? Can we meet up outside? You know, any chance for a lift? And you'll always get someone who'll go, no, not a problem, no problem at all. What do you want to do? What are you going to be costuming? Right, okay then. And then you'll get people who'll help you with it as well, like 3D printing, in props, and people are always keen to help. You don't ever feel afraid that, you know, of asking someone, oh, can you give me a hand with this? Can you give me an idea of how to do this or whatever? And people will always do it. That is the cosplay community.
This is why, I mean, I started off playing the game, stupid fancy dress thing at work. Love the character, built on it from that. Never been to a Comic-Con in my entire life, you know what I mean? Always wanted to, never had the sort of money, the time really to do it. And a load of us from the Isle of Wight were going over, and I said, oh yeah, fuck it, I'll go to Portsmouth one happily. And that the first one I did was on the Isle of Wight. It was only a small one, and I didn't have my good mask on the first one. I had a really poor, still loved it, you know. It wasn't as amazing as the next one, but then obviously I saved up, got this mask similar to yours. Yours is the upgraded version of mine, isn't it? And yeah, that whole crap, I really enjoyed that. People are running up to you, pictures, kids are high-fiving you, wanting pictures. Adults, I mean, like I said I think it was last week or the week before, the one I'll never forget, this I think she was autistic or Down syndrome or something. Bless her, you know, she screamed from the other end of the building, Deadpool! And I was like, me? So, you know, made her day. She's hugging me, kissing me, pictures done. She, made her day, you know what I mean? So that's why it's amazing. But at the same time, like you said, I've now built up friends in the cosplay community, not knowing any of these people, just by being myself and in the character, meeting. Well, that's how we met. You know what I mean? We met through cosplay. I think I was coming to Portsmouth Cotton as Deadpool, and you went, oh, me too. I see you there. But we never did bump into each other, did we?
Yeah, that's unfortunate because we missed each other on that. But yeah, that's the thing you miss with like the local Comic-Cons. Most of them are free or very cheap to go to, and unfortunately for the past year and a half we haven't been able to, but wait until the shackles come off and we get out there and people can get back into it again, get back into the camaraderie, in a way, because you do miss the camaraderie, you do miss seeing people, you do miss, you know, bouncing off each other, because that's what we do. We all are very supportive to one another, even, you know, in the current climate as it is, we're still supporting each other. And you know, long may it continue.
Well, it's a prime example is, like I said, we never met before until I think when we first met, is it when you first come over, I think, but yeah, it was a case of we were planning to meet up at Portsmouth Con, didn't happen, but we still stayed in touch on the groups and everything. And the sheer joy of this community is, if you obviously remember this, still probably saw from it, the walk we did last year for the charity event hosted by the White Knight, who's actually coming on the show as well at some point. I've got an interview of him later. But yeah, that cosplay community, he wasn't getting much luck recruiting people because he's not really a cosplayer. He is just he's a real life superhero, and they do help out at events and, you know, charity stuff and just walk around helping people, cheering people up and stuff. But because he asked me, I obviously asked the people in the community and do cosplay, and that's why you come over from the mainland. We had Matt and his wife. We had what else did we have? Ariel. She was Ariel, wasn't she?
Yeah. And then who else turned up? Oh, the guy with the Jurassic Park Geek turned up as well.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, that nearly killed us, but we raised some money. So
it was all about. Damn hot.
Yeah, the thing is as well, is, you know, the suit itself, it's hot. If you watch any interview of Ryan Reynolds, he will tell you it's freaking killer. So, and that's a professional. So imagine what ours are like. And then you've got the full-on face mask of that. You had your half, because you did Star-Lord. So you had your half, didn't you? But good thing about Star-Lord, you can get away with both on or off. But Deadpool, you kind of need it on unless you're going full-on makeup. But yeah, it's wicked. I can't wait to go to Comic-Con, actually. We're thinking of popping over because is it the Hub?
Yeah, the Hub are doing one up the 24th, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Sunday week anyway. They're doing it on Southsea Common. So all the crazies will be there.
Are you going in cosplay, or are you going as yourself?
No, I'll go as myself. Problem with, like, you know, Deadpool, you melt. You do melt. You need to be able to get out of the sun. If you sit in the sun for more than half an hour, you've got, yeah. So I will not be going in a costume for that. So I'll just turn up as myself, and quite a few people I expect will want to get their costumes on and have a bit of a giggle. And the thing is, with that, it will draw the crowds as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a little bit of publicity for the group, and, you know, long may it continue on that one as well. So,
yeah, Emma wants to pop over. She misses it because she knows a few of you guys anyway. From I mean, she's met Sam, obviously you now, and that, and she's got a couple of friends over there in the Hub as well. So she wants to sort of hopefully meet up with them as well. So we're thinking about it. As long as we can sort of dump the kids at her mum's or whatever, we'll whiz down, because we're due over then anyway. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, definitely come down.
I'm thinking about Deadpooling it up just for the fun of it, man. So I miss it.
Yeah, so you've got your suit's 2-piece, isn't it? So you can, yeah. See, I've got a 1-piece suit, so I can't really.
Yeah, mine's the homemade version. I got bits off eBay, I got bits off Amazon over the years, made stuff myself, obviously same as you have. Whereas yours is the body condom, isn't it? They call it. So
yeah, it's double layered as well. Plus, I wear lycra underneath it as well, so you do tend to sweat a little bit, but it's not too bad because it does breathe. So that's the main thing. It's not full on leather. It's all very breathable, but even so, yeah.
I remember that I did that breast cancer awareness event on the island. I think it was like July as well, and it was baking. It was all outside. There was no shelter at all. Luckily, Ron from Insert Name Here, he managed to sort of come over support me, and he was just chucking ice packs down my back and like making sure I was hydrated and that. Bless him. I owe him my life, honestly. But yeah, put a link to that below, and if anyone wants to come, is it free to anyone to turn up?
Anyone can turn up for it. It's an open air event, so, you know, if anyone wants to pop along, please do. I don't know exactly where, but just look around for people in costume. No, you'll soon find us.
Yeah. Well, you can drop a link when this airs, can't you? You can drop a link. Next thing we want to talk about was you are starting a breakfast club. Go for it.
Yeah, right. this is something that's sort of been on the back burner a little bit, because obviously when the full restrictions came in, we couldn't do it. The basic idea is for men who are struggling mentally, could be anything at all, and they just want to meet up, come and have a chat. It's not going to be formal. It's not going to be, here's a leaflet, please take it home, read it, blah blah blah. It's going to be quite informal. That's why we've put the actual name as Breakfast OK. It has two meanings. It's breakfast okay, as in are you okay? And people they find they can relax if they're eating with someone, and you can basically spill the beans. If you want to have a chat, if you want to have a moment, then that's what people are there for. Hopefully, in a way, we don't want it to be too busy, but we want it to be busy enough for people to come in and not be left in the background. So, for people to come in and say, look, I need, can we have a chat about whatever? It could be anything at all. And that's the basic premise behind it. It's going to be in Portsmouth to start off with. And we'll see how it goes, because there could be other venues that might want to take this sort of thing on. But it is mainly to promote men's mental health. As costumers, some people suffer from mental health. I mean, I've been through the mill quite literally with this, because where are we now? 5 years ago, my first wife unfortunately took her own life, and the way I coped with it is I fought a battle for 18 months because of the lack of care and treatment. And once I did finally get the apology, I quite literally hit a brick wall, in the terms of I was at work one day and I drove a forklift into a brick wall and didn't even realise I'd done it. And that's when you think to yourself, oh, there's something not right here. You try and seek help. It's not always the best. And I managed to pull myself through it. But this led on to the costuming side of it. So that helped me get over the problems that I had being stuck in a house by myself with four walls that just seemed to be, coming closer and closer to me. Admittedly, I had to seek professional help. Probably the best thing I ever did. Never thought I would have to go and see a psychiatrist, but I did, and it taught me a lot about myself, and I have a better understanding of people who are suffering. It's one of those things where it's a very interesting terminology, where you could be walking down the street and you could see someone having a mental episode, and most people would cross over the road, change direction, whatever. Now I'm one of those people who I won't go and interfere, but I'll be very aware of how this person is coping at that precise moment in time. Yeah. And you do get people who are having full meltdowns, and you obviously don't engage with them, but you are aware of their surroundings, and you try and make their surroundings as safe as possible. But that opened my eyes to everything, and seeing other people, talking to other people about stress, talking to people about anxiety, and everyone suffers from it. And a lot of people won't admit they suffer from it because there's a stigma.
You're weak, yeah.
Or you've got a problem.
Yeah.
You're not weak, you're just in need. Yeah. And sometimes, you've got to say, not so much hold your hand up, but you've got to say, look, I do need help. Is there anybody out there who can help me? And that's what we all want. You know, everyone wants to help. How you help is down to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes all you got to do is listen, or say to someone, "Oh, are you okay?"
So it takes.
It's a simple, very simple question. And when they go, or yeah, I suppose so. Well, no, are you okay? And then sometimes you get people who will open up to that. And, you know, you don't roll your eyes at that situation because that just makes them even worse. But that is that one question, are you okay, is such an easy question to ask.
It could be huge, can't it? It could be a case of you walk past someone seeing they're not quite right. If you just ignore them, that could be the end, game over. No turning back. All it takes, sorry, mate, are you all right? Are you okay? That could potentially save someone's life, improve their life, improve your own life as well. You know what I mean? You could be a, you know, emotional, supportive backbone to this person from now on. You know, it's all it takes.
You've just spoken to them, just taken them out of that little moment that they had and thinking, oh, someone does care. Someone is willing to listen.
Yeah.
And Shay, that's all you need to do. You don't have to force yourself upon people, but you know, if you just ask and say, right, okay, yeah, fair enough. And now you hear it all the time, don't you? Yeah. You know, that to call someone a hero isn't quite the right terminology, but for them to be in that moment at that time when that person needed them, then yeah, I suppose in a way they are heroic.
Yeah. Don't see why not.
Yeah. So yeah, that sort of leads us back to the breakfast okay, because that's all we're asking. Are you okay? And we're prepared to listen. We're prepared to offer advice on, you know, life circumstances rather than full on medical advice. You know, how did you deal with this? How did you cope with that? And it's simple things like that. And that's what the actual premise of the whole idea behind the Breakfast Club is. Yeah. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I hope it goes well. If it goes well, I mean, look to expand my way. I'll help you out if I can.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the sort. I'm not going to put any pressure on certain people on the island, but you know, there are certain places that it may work very well. Yeah. And in a way, it's a good way of actually drumming up a little bit of business for the business as well. Yeah. Because obviously nothing is for free, but there's no charge for actually coming along and having a chat. So
some people, I mean, I've said to friends and family before that have actually been struggling with stuff and that. Even if you want to come sit at my house and watch TV in absolute silence with me, if that's all it takes, that little bit of company, fine, absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's just being there, isn't it?
Yeah,
being there, being a friend, and yeah, you don't. Sometimes you don't understand. They could be sat at the other end of the. Doesn't matter as long as you know. Yeah. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, I'm happy now, or I'm okay at the. That's how we deal with life in general, isn't it? So, yes, yeah.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man.
Fingers crossed, exactly. Yeah, hopefully. No, we will. We will be good.
You will do it.
Yeah, we will. Yeah. Quite looking forward to it. A little bit of apprehension, but quite looking forward.
I think you've got enough support, and you obviously got the support of the Facebook group. I'm done in the ones you're in as well, obviously as well. I mean that Facebook group has been a massive backbone all the way through COVID for me as well. I know I constantly promote if you're not all right, talk about it. Message me, message you, message Emma. You know what I mean, and stuff like that. But it's surprising how much it's helped me. I don't know. I mean, I would have got through it because I've got Emma and the kids and my family, luckily here. But I think it's helped me as well. So even if it is just to post a silly picture, start a conversation about Deadpool, you know what I mean? It just gets you interacting with other people that are like-minded. And yeah, fucking great. Honestly, it's good.
Yeah.
I promised I wouldn't swear too much on this episode. I'm going to try and share this on a mental health thing. So I've done my own rule like 3 times, I think, but we can bleep that out. Yeah, man, hopefully it goes all right for you anyway. Drop some links in the when this airs for your breakfast club when you get it sorted. I'll support it. Obviously, I'll promote the hell out of it for you. And for your cosplay meetup that we want to go to, drop a link for that as well.
Will do. Yeah, no problem.
Anything you want to discuss before we get kicked off?
Before we get kicked off? You mean before you kick me off?
No, we got a time limit. I get kicked off every week now for hitting that 40-minute time limit.
Oh, no. Well, so with the cosplay, enjoy it. Don't feel pressurized. Don't think you've got the best costume in the world, because when you go to the event, you go to any Comic-Con and you see some of the costumes there where people have spent a lot of time, and then people they hate to say it, but they've rushed it. And you still go, wow, how did you do that? How on earth have you made that costume in that short period of time? Because, there are talented people, but what you need, needle, thread, glue gun, essential, obviously, super. And you can make anything at all. Don't be afraid of experimenting, because it won't always go right the first time, but when you get it right and you go there and someone says to you, wow, can I have your photograph? Then that makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? It really does. It's the way your heart sort of flutters a little bit.
It's true. No, I fully agree. Yeah. It's certainly changed my life, as in, it's like I've not done until the last couple of years, and I can't imagine life without it now, to the point of 90% of my friends are now cosplayers or in the geeky environment. I've always been geeky. I've always been in the Marvel, DC, gaming, all that sort of stuff. But the last few years, the friends I have, and that's obviously how I met Emma as well, through Comic-Con. So it changed my life.
Yeah, so yeah, and it always will. You'll meet new people all the time, and you don't really lose anyone with cosplay, because you may not see him for 2 years, and then suddenly you'll bump into them. It's like, long lost friend. Oh, well, there you are. Photo, click, isn't it? It is quite wholesome. What are you wearing now? Oh, great! I love it, and that's how you go and meet people. How you sort of get out your comfort zone a little bit. And yeah, it's probably 5 years ago I'd have gone, ooh, geeks, yeah, weirdos. But once you're in that circle and you realize how much fun and how much enjoyment you can actually get out of it, you don't even have to cosplay to get the fun and enjoyment out of it. It's being in that environment.
Yeah.
Having a laugh, having a giggle, and it's one of those things that once you're in, you're not getting out. Unlucky.
What do you think? All this, so the Facebook group, my friends, my girlfriend, so my whole life, this show you're on now, all started because I put that on.
Exactly, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Do you need any more proof that it is life-changing other than what we have just said tonight?
Yeah, and so it's like you get this sort of thing with Dan and everyone else. The stuff that you see and that you can get involved with now is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't bring a smile to your face, well, you've got to be pretty hollow inside. But no, we love it. Everyone loves, having costuming, doing the geeky stuff, and yeah, in a way, it has changed my life, because it brought me out of my shell. It took me out of the house, and that's, if you don't want to be morbid, but if it hadn't, God knows where I'd be right now. I wouldn't walk into Deadpool Rock, of course. So.
It's amazing as well that it's such a famous thing to do as well, because everyone knows Deadpool, everyone knows Captain America, Batman, Judge Dredd, like all the ones we've said, and millions more. So the point of I was doing Christmas late night shopping at Fantastic Store and Ride, and I was just stood outside and messing around in the shop as Deadpool. And these two drunk lads, hilarious hell, clearly not geeky at all. You know what I mean? They were like, "What the is that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, here we go," sort of thing. They come run up to me and like, "Mate, that is what?" They were hugging me, they offered me beer, to the point of even drunk, I wouldn't say hooligans, but two drunk lads that aren't geeky in the slightest were like, they still know who these characters are. It's amazing. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That is the key moment, isn't it? When you get someone coming up to you and you go, "All right, yeah." I'm very happy with where I am at the moment. Yeah, that's yeah. But,
are you going to continue as Deadpool and Star-Lord, or have you got any others you want to do?
I've got Quantum Paw as well.
Oh yeah.
So still going to keep that one going. I've got the Young one, which is from Captain Marvel. Just got to work a little bit on that. It's one of those ones where it was going to get debuted last year, but it went on the back burner because I couldn't be bothered. But that's ready to go. But that one is a proper melting suit because it's 4 layers. So when I put that on, my God, I know I've got it on because you start. Problem with that one is there's no mask or anything. So when you're sweating in the mask, you could sort of get away with it a little bit because it's all contained. But when you sweat in and you haven't got a mask on, it's not pleasant. But that one's it's tailored to fit now, so it all fits roughly. I've got to lose a couple of kilos, but it all fits.
So.
And I haven't really thought about anything else at the moment. I just want to get back into the Comic-Cons, and then of course,
go on.
Then you'll get the bite again and go, "Oh yeah, right, I'm going to do something else now." But until you get into the Comic-Cons again and all the events, then it's like a hiatus, isn't it? You don't know what you want to do at the moment, but once they start and everything, then we will have a bit of a
blurry. We need a picture as Deadpool and Deadpool, by the way, very soon.
We got me and you
Star-Lord. But awesome. So basically, let's run down. It is okay to not be okay. It is okay to ask for help. Cosplaying is a massive life changer, and just the geeky environment. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think we've sort of covered it, that, between ourselves, the experiences and life-changing events and stuff, you don't need to say much else, do you?
No, but say, like you said, it's okay not to be okay.
It is.
So it's a simple little phrase, isn't it? And that's what it is. So and remember that.
Yeah.
Remember that. And if you're ever struggling, there's people available who will more than be happy to listen to you. We're very good listeners. So, and that's that's the main thing. People, feel free to message anyone, especially on this group, because we're quite open to to everything, aren't we? We are open to any little quirks that people have got that they're not happy about. Just message away, and then we'll offer some advice. It may not be good advice, but we'll offer some advice.
People handle things in different ways. Mine's very much a humorous approach to it. This is why I got accused of not taking things seriously quite recently. But people that know me, if I have got a straight face and I'm talking to you sensibly, that is me being sensibly. It's people handle things in different ways, but the group is always here. I'm always there. Darren, you're always there. And so I know Emma is. Countless. I lose fingers. People that are there on my Facebook group. And the hub as well, I'm sure, and infinite people.
Yes, yeah.
I'm gonna leave it there. I think that's good. Unless you want anything else to add, that's a good point to leave it. I think so.
It's the perfect point to leave it. I think. Really enjoyed it.
Right, hang on, Darren. I'm going to hang up and then I'll talk to you in a sec. Thank you so much, Darren, for joining.
No problem.
We will see you soon as Deadpool or Star-Lord or whatever you come up with.
Okay, mate. Right.
Thank you so much. I'll speak to you in 2 seconds.
Hey, mate.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much, Darren. Coming on. I'm going to leave it there with Darren for a minute. I'm going to call up. We've got Loki Fuller coming on. We've got John, Joshua, and the White Knight as well. I'm going to call them. So thank you. This is my middle section, part 2. Just cutting in the middle to break it up a little bit. It's going to be a long interview with all those guys. So thanks for staying tuned. I'm going to call those guys right this second. Hopefully they are ready to go. And enjoy. I will see you guys in the interview. Catch you in a sec. Hey guys, welcome to Deadpool Mask Geek Chat. Darren, round 2 for you, man. Welcome back.
Yep. Good evening to you.
Good evening. And Loki Fuller, welcome.
Hi, good evening.
This is your first time on Deadpool Mask Geek Chat. Are you a fan of the show? Have you never seen it before?
I've watched a couple episodes. Just don't typically have the time.
No, it's understandable completely. So yeah, this week we are talking about mental health in the geeky environment. So be it if you struggling a little bit, how do you get through it? What do you watch? Do you cosplay? Do you meet up with geeky friends? Myself and Darren were talking yesterday, but it'll be on the same show, obviously, about just sort of different ways of coping mechanisms, his personal experiences, my personal experiences, and how it's the cosplay community and the geeky community has improved our lives. So yeah, Darren, got anything to add from your previous interview?
Well, no. Well, yesterday, I mean, it was quite an in-depth discussion, really, wasn't it? And it how we perceive other people, really, in the cosplay community, isn't it? And how they are there to help. And a lot of people don't actually realise how helpful they can be because they understand, they get it. They all have their little quirks, and you know, maybe a few mental problems as well. But we all have issues somewhere along the lines.
Yeah, man.
And like we said, and it'll come up a lot. Hey, not to be okay.
Yeah.
But all.
Josh, welcome to Geek Chat. We are recording.
All right.
So basically, just a quick rundown. I've already spoken to Darren yesterday, but they'll be on the same show, obviously, about basically mental health awareness week, obviously, this week. How in the geeky community you tackle it, or your partner tackles it, or your friends or family that you deal with tackle this issue. Darren's already done an interview with me, but he's just here as sort of backup for me as well as a, and he's going to, help if need be. So yeah, how are you first of all, Josh?
All right. I've been busy at work, and then like everything's just so busy, isn't it? So
it is. It's the build up for me. Do you guys know each other? We've got Happy John is joining us again as well in a second. Excuse me. So yeah, we'll get to everyone in 2 seconds. John, have you had your hair cut, mate?
I'm gonna say yeah. It depends on when you last saw me.
A couple of weeks. You're looking smart, mate. You're looking smart. So Josh, John, Darren, Loki, Rob, we all know each other, sort of. As I've just said, there's one more person joining later, hopefully, if they do get the invite. But for now, this should be it for now. John, we're focusing on mental health in the geeky environment. Darren's already done the interview with me, so he's here just as a bit of a backup for me as well, to help me out as well, so which is great. So Loki Fuller,
Yep.
welcome. Talk about it if you want to discuss how the geeky world environment helps you out.
Yeah, so the geeky world has helped me like majorly over the past few years, and then like the past few months with what's been going on, as a lot of people on the group know what's happened.
Yeah.
You lot have really helped me get through this tough time.
Good.
You all really have. But then also in the general geeky world, cosplaying, gaming has been a real big thing for me. As I'm caving, I'm getting the new Resident Evil next week, which I have been looking forward to.
Excellent.
And I think that's gonna be my new big thing, I think.
Yeah.
Because over the past few months, I've probably replayed Borderlands 3 4 times now.
It's time to move on to a new project. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. But the other, I'm trying to think of this more of an geeky aspect, but a lot of music from games. I listen to a lot of like the soundtracks, and especially the Undertale one, because there's some brilliant music from it.
Love that soundtrack.
Yeah, and it's all been a massive help really over the past few months, but really the past few years since I started. I've certainly felt better since I've started like cosplaying and that, because I get to present as characters, which in a way can then like help me like kind of get certain emotions out, but in a good way.
Yeah.
So it really just does help.
Yeah. As Darren said quite a lot in our interview, which will be just before this one when it's all edited together tomorrow, you can take on this character, be it Deadpool or Captain America or whoever, or anime character, whatever you want to do, and you can have you're not yourself for a few hours, are you? You're this character, and it distracts you from normality and all the sort of whatever's going on, and just brings out another side of you, and it's great, really. So go on. That's right.
I think the other thing that's helped me through this is just like the amount of pop vinyls I'm collecting.
I hate those things. I hate them
have more
so damn much. They're everywhere. You know what I mean?
No,
I
I'm slowly organising them at my dad's, but we're moving soon, so it's going to be fun to reorganise them.
Excellent. They're one of those things that I must admit I said I'm not getting them. I refuse outright to get them. Somebody bought me like 2 for my birthday going back like 4 or 5 years. Next thing you know, you've got 60 of them like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, no, my mum was like that. I started collecting right from get-go from my first con. I bought a few and she was going, yeah, no, not going to get any. And then I think we're on par with each other on how many we have. If not, I have just a few more, but she has bought so many, like most of them are like the Mandalorian ones.
Yeah.
But she has collected like others as well, and it's just insane.
There's just so many different. The only thing I haven't seen actually is like Zelda ones. Funny, I'm a big fan. I'm not overly a massive fan of Zelda or anything, but I've never seen any. Oh, there is a few about.
I think I've seen a few about.
Oh,
not
nice.
often though.
But yeah, if that is that another way of coping with whatever's going on in your head or your life or anything, is distraction by yet another geeky product, which is freaking pop vinyls, man.
Yeah, I have one of the absolutely massive ones as well downstairs in the living room.
They are cool. Just a quick disclaimer, I suppose, more than anything for us as well. We're trying to have a swear-free
that's fine.
episode. I did swear with Darren yesterday a few times. It's because somebody, Josh, one of your friends that you tagged, wants to perhaps share it. Yes, it. So hopefully I'll try and keep it swear-free. So if she does share it, normally it's no holds barred, as you all know. I don't care. But yeah.
But this specific one, swear-free if possible.
We're trying. If it happens, it happens. You what? Sorry.
In context.
Yeah. Right, back to the topic at hand. Josh, man, you've got a story to tell, I believe, as well.
Well, I've got several stories to tell, and it's not really me myself, my whole family seems to suffer very badly. There's a lot of anxiety in my family. So my nan's just been diagnosed with anxiety, and she's one of the very stiff upper lip people. Doesn't affect me. Well, she had lots of heart problems, and the doctors have got down to the root of it, which is anxiety. It's caused her blood pressure to rise, and then she has anxiety attacks and stuff. So it's like people think mental health is just mental, but it affects you physically. And people seem to forget things like that. Also, my wife has recently been diagnosed with bipolar, which is put a hell of a strain on our family. And it's very difficult for me, because I've got to support the whole family and everything. And we've had a lot of stuff that's happened that I don't really want to go into.
It's fine.
But this group has helped me get through the past year. Like, I've been able to just talk on here. It's my escapism. Like, people with the same sort of interests. Like, if I'm having a bad day, I can just literally watch something geeky, some Marvel, whatever else, and then I know I can talk about it on here or talk on this group, and everyone's just like so welcoming and put funny comments, whatever, on your posts, and that helps. Just having, especially seeing as we've been in lockdown, a lot, you've not been able to go out and see your mum, your brother, whatever else.
Yeah.
Like, you've just got this one place that I find I'm talking on the group every day, or nearly every day.
Yeah.
It definitely helps me a lot.
Oh, good.
Throughout my life, I've come across lots of people with lots of chronic disorders, and that's what they are. Like, chronic things. It's the things that most people will never get over, and they just have to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Be it taking medication for it, and being diagnosed is so difficult as well. You go to the doctors and they might just put you on antidepressants, which can cause, as I found out, horrific problems if it's not depression, which is the problem. It pushes your mood so far up. Like, people seem very happy, but in my case, my wife had rapid cycling bipolar. So when she crashed hard, because her mood was so high up, and then she went right down to the bottom. So I think it's very important that everyone be aware of the different things that your mental health can do. And I've learned so much, and like you couldn't get it across in like right now. I couldn't tell you everything that I've learned, because it's just so overwhelming. And like my sister suffers from PTSD, which she is actually from school bullying, believe it or not. You know, and people associate that with like veterans and stuff coming back, what they've seen, and it can be caused by absolutely anything. And
traumatic events, isn't it?
Exactly. And there's still this stigma about mental health that, like I said, with my grandparents, they were always like, "Oh, we never had this in our day." Yeah. Well, yes, you did, and that's why. And now she's sat there and she's being diagnosed with anxiety, and that's the reason she's been so sick lately. Yeah.
It's one of those things that like Darren said yesterday as well. It's difficult to sort of, I don't know how to put it really. You don't want to talk about it because people go, "Oh, you're all right, crack on, mate," sort of thing. It's very difficult sometimes to. People think you're faking it or for attention, don't they, as well? Which some people probably do.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
But it's like until you like been close to someone or have an issue yourself, you don't appreciate what it's like. And believe me, I've been sat there at the end of my tether going, like, why do I even bother? You know, it does get to me as well. Like, it's so much pressure for someone to help someone through it.
Yeah.
And all you can do is just reassure them and be there for them, but that is exhausting.
Yeah.
And it does get to yourself, and like, you know, you need an outlet yourself. Like, and talking to someone is usually the way to go. But
yeah,
in the past 12 months, it's been difficult to talk to someone about it.
Yeah, it's impossible.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like you're going around with all the Chantry House, mental health services, whatever else. You're going backwards and forwards a lot, and they are not there to help the partners or family of the person that's suffering. They're only there to help the person that's suffering. There is not really a support group for a lot of these people. There are some support groups, but you find it's not easy for partners to talk to other people and say, this is what's happening with me, and this is problems I've got.
Darren, do you want to jump in there with your breakfast idea? Is that something you could incorporate into partners with?
It is basically the premise of the whole thing. Well, my story, I don't want to go in too deep because of Josh's current, the current situation is down there. I had the same sort of thing with him. I know how hard it is to find help. I know how hard it is to talk to someone. And this is what we're actually setting up at the moment in Portsmouth, which is the Breakfast OK. And it's exactly for this reason, to go out, talk to someone, to let off a bit of steam, and people who've been in that situation. I've been there, got the medal, got the gold medal. I've had to fight with, the trusts, the people. I've done so many first stints, and this is what I feel, with the help of other people, I can actually give back and say, look, there are people who will talk. There are people who will listen. We're not medically trained. We've been there. We're further down the path. We are at the end of, we're at the end of the line. We're at the end of the phone. We can meet up. And that's basically what the Breakfast OK is. And hopefully, go on.
Just, they haven't seen your interview yet. It's basically Darren's going to start up a club, hopefully, fingers crossed. Like you said, in Portsmouth, it'll be for people that are going through this sort of thing. You explained it in your interview yesterday, but it hasn't been aired yet, so probably people don't know what you're on about yet. So
but it's for men predominantly, because we're buggers for showing our feelings, and it's just to be a focal point. So if you're having a bad time, if you're struggling, come down. It's going to be very relaxed. Sit in a group. Breakfast is available, and the way it's designed is people to turn up. If they don't want to talk, they don't have to talk. If they want to talk, they can talk. If they want to sit in the background and just listen to what people have got to say, it's that relaxed. We're not going to, say, oh, this is so and so. Please, tell us your story, because it's not going to be like that. If you want to come down, if you want to talk, that's what we're going to be there for. And it's to cover anything, If you're struggling at home, with your own mental health, if you're struggling at home with people who you're having to care for, and you just need that break, you can come and talk to, people who are having the same issues, because it's easier to talk to them than it is to talk to professionals who seem to know it all, but they haven't been in that situation.
Exactly.
That's all we can hope for with this one. So
I mean, you're trying it in Portsmouth first. I mean, obviously us Isle of Wighters, it's tricky and it's expensive to get across all the time. But you said in our interview, if it does well, perhaps look at bringing something over here, getting someone to, on your behalf, run it over here. So
just, it's going to be one of those things where I think if someone comes along and they go, yeah, I could do this, then the infrastructure will be there, and hopefully we'll be up and running for a couple of months by then, and then they'll get the idea of how am I going to implement this, and then there'll be like the support network grow. But people have got to, unfortunately, they have got to turn up, because it could, if people don't turn up, then it might fall flat on its face. But fingers crossed, there's been a bit of interest, so it's just a case of if people want to turn up and show their face and see how we go.
Yeah. So yeah,
sorry, just to
go on, John. You're right.
Well, just to say, I think there is something like that set up on the island. It's just not geek based, but don't hold me to that. I would need to look into it. But I think there is a morning group meetup thing for mental health problems. But again, don't hold me to that. But I'm pretty certain there was something set up. But again, it's not geek based. I would need to look up the details, but yeah.
It doesn't have to be geek based, is it? It's for anyone, isn't it? That's
yeah. No, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. We have been joined by the White Knight. He is muted at the moment. I've been messaging him sneakily. I've been listening. Don't worry. He will appear in a second, hopefully. John, quickly, man. Well, I don't know if you quickly take time. Do you struggle with mental health issues? Do you have anxiety? Do you have depression? If you want to talk about it, feel free. Do you cope in a geeky way?
No, I've had depression for as long as I can remember. I cope with it. I was going to say, I also so from PTSD from school years. It sounds like you're joking, but I would say Vietnam War movies remind me of my school life. Obviously, I wasn't killing and explosions and all that lot, but the mental balance you see in those movies remind me of my school years. I'm coping better than I've done in ages. And yeah, I think with geek culture, it's common as heck. If you don't got, suffer from mental health or anxiety or anything, you sure as hell know someone who does. Again, I think it's escapism from reality. Other times, I think it's just fun. I think because although I'm an introvert, I do think part of the reason why I'm not more outgoing is because of how my treatment was at school. I was already into nerdy stuff, but not I was ever invited to play football or anything like that. Or if I was, it wasn't a good thing. And I think, perhaps my more introvertedness and into geek culture came from that. But no, I consider it a good thing. And whereas geek culture has become more mainstream and it's become much more popular in terms of gender-based, I don't know how to word it. It's more unisex now than it used to be. I think everyone. People, well, you look at the ages, it's more and more women are more interested into geeky, nerdy culture than they used to be. And that's a good thing. And I think, again, with the mental health, this has also come into it as well, is that it's also been acknowledged. It's more accepted in geek culture than I think it is in a lot of other cultures. Not with, with hippie culture and we'll call it goth culture. It's the same thing that people are aware of. If you don't know someone, if you haven't got it, you sure as hell know someone who has. And I think, although there's a lot of anger and hatred that goes on in the geek world, there's more accepted if you've got problems, or if you've got, I would say also learning, and I always called it mental disabilities, like bipolarism, because again, it's just so common. I think also with learning disabilities, anxiety and depression also kind of often go hand in hand. And I think it's so common that it is a lot more accepted in communities. I won't tell you on this, but I'll tell you about the person who ran IslandCon, how he tried to prove what a narcissist he was, how he tried to manipulate people by using mental health as a,
he did, but we
won't.
We won't get into that.
We won't go into that. That was the guy who did. Yeah, that was the guy who ran IslandCon. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, no, it's common. Yeah, I've probably gone on too much. But yeah, no, it's important part of geek culture. Just one quick story is I'll add the link. George Easterman, Scotty guy, he helped a person a lot when autographs. So it was the happiest thing he ever did, because although he wasn't the main person that helped, he realised she was needing help and he helped her. You'd cry if you watched the interview. But also, Tom Baker said the most memorable fan he ever met was some person who came up to him on the street and went, "You're Tom Baker," and shook his hand, and he was saying how he was at a foster home where no one cared for the kids, and they were dumped in front of TV to watch Doctor Who, and he said, this guy was practically in tears, shaking Tom Baker's hand, just saying that watching Doctor Who for him, it was their way of escaping because no one cared, and it just meant a lot to him that this show was on, and it was half an hour enjoyment a week. So yeah. Anyway, I'll let other people talk.
It's all right. What I'm going to do, because that did go on a little bit longer than I thought, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to restart the meeting and send you a link. Is that all right? Everyone all right to join again?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
White Knight will get you on next. So bear with me, guys. I'll invite you in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Right.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half of our meeting. I'm just going to invite the guys back. Bear with me. You have to stare at my face for 2 seconds. Let's get the White Knight back in. He's got some exciting news. Bear with me while I do this. Let's get Loki Fuller back in. Let's get Darren back in. I'm just sending the link, so bear with me. There's that. And Josh is coming back with the link, and so is, whoopsie, press the wrong button, John as well. Whoopsie, I pressed something wrong again. Hello. How you doing? All right. I'm just going to get everyone back. We are already recording because I didn't want to run out of time. Just slowly inviting people back with a link, which I now know works. Thank you for being so quick.
As soon as I saw that, I joined.
No, well done, you're a star. Yeah, if you hang on 2 seconds, White Knight has got a bit of a time limit, so let's get him on. So, White Knight, welcome to your first ever appearance on Deadpool Rob's Geek Chat. You want to discuss a few bits and bobs, what you've been up to, what the future holds, and a surprise.
Hi, Rob. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Off you go.
Yeah, I'm a bit iffy on the internet, so it might sort of lag at some points, but
You're perfectly fine, mate.
yeah, I just wanted to come on and let everyone know what I've been doing. Obviously, I'm in the high risk category for COVID, so
yeah.
I've tried to keep indoors the last sort of year. I mean, I came out for our charity walk, but that's pretty much the only time I was out in the last year. But
have you worn those boots yet, man?
I had my first COVID jab, just waiting for the second. Oh, that walk was knackering.
It killed us.
It was definitely an experience. I definitely should have trained more for it.
I think we all felt it, but you had it bad, man. You wore brand new boots on a 90 million mile walk.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
I was pretty cut up afterwards, but no, it was a great walk, and the charity was really happy to receive the money.
Amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Honestly, the fact that you organised it and we all put it together, and sort of, once again, like I said with Darren yesterday, we've had a meeting previous to this. it's that geeky community all come together, supported each other, and we pulled off an amazing walk. You know, raised a load of money. I nearly swore. No swearing.
I think it was, what was it, 660 by the end of it, or something like that.
Yeah, it's mental.
Going. Nice one.
We paid for it, like blood, sweat, and tears, man.
But,
Tears me.
Yeah, the last year I've kind of focused more on sort of my personal life than the hero work. But I'm ready now. I've about to have my second COVID jab. It hopefully let me go out and do the beach cleans again and get involved with the charity work. Hopefully this summer the festivals and all the carnivals will be on.
Yeah.
Because I know you'll love to join that again, Rob.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I will be doing the carnivals again this year if they're on.
We want to try and get a group float for the cosplay.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
So
yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to someone about, because
that's more motivation
that's pretty much what inspired me to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that actually got me into the whole sort of superhero thing to begin with, actually, I don't know if you've seen a film. It's called Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The bit where Turbo Man comes up through the float and is supposed to just waving to everyone. That film, although it's not a superhero film, that's what got me into the whole sort of culture.
Yeah, I suppose
Just
that class a superhero film. I don't see why not.
Yeah, sort of.
It's that borderline, isn't it?
But, I've lost where I am now.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed doing all this White Knight stuff. It's, I mean, I've lost track of the actual amount I've made. I could work it out, but it's around about 1,300 now for charities since the beginning. And through like bake sales and the comic sales, thank you to Idle Mind and Dan
Gaz.
For doing all of the stuff for all my comics. But I mean, when it first started, it just was really lucky that it sort of took off. I mean, it was all of a sudden just me doing this on a Saturday night, just having a little wander around, seeing what was going on, and all of a sudden the county press just go, yeah, you're on the front page, okay. Then it was the Times read the county press, then Phil and Holly read the Times, and I was on that in a week, and it just went crazy.
Yeah, I remember actually. Yeah.
I do remember that.
It was all in the space of a week that it all just took off. And I mean, at the start, it was a bit of confusion as to what I did.
You did get a lot of grief, man. I must admit, it was not nice.
Oh, it was. I mean, what people saw in the comments, that was probably the tame stuff.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, in the messages, I was getting death threats. I was getting people telling me to throw myself off Culver Cliff and everything. Oh, people threatening to attack me. Everything, but
absolutely pathetic.
It was. I just sort of responded with sort of laughing about it, and people like that. But I think a lot of the problem was people thought I was just going to go hide in a bin somewhere, and if I saw a kid littering, I'd jump up and punch him or something.
Yeah, people don't understand though, do they? That's the problem. People don't understand what the message you were trying to get across.
Sort of comparing it to Batman, sort of like a vigilante style, that I was going to go out and tackle gangs of drug dealers and stuff. And really, I was just like, I just want to charge a few people's phones and give them a helping hand. But at the start, I was looking at those sort of nighttime patrols, and I mean, most of the time, nothing really happened. I felt my time could be better spent doing the beach cleans and the charity work instead. And that's when I sort of switched to the more autism side of things and talking about sort of anti-bullying and autism and things like that, instead of walking around at night. Because
you've got yourself quite a little fan base, though, haven't you? There is a lot of people that, you know, we got your stickers at my work. You know, people got your comic. You know, how many people have got pictures with you now? You know what I mean? So
it's just crazy how it was just a nice little idea I thought of because I wanted a job originally. I saw like all the people that go to the birthday parties and thought, I wonder if there was no jobs going with them, and I thought, oh, I'll start maybe doing my own thing, and then I realised the superhero business and just went, yeah, I'll just go along with that.
Yeah.
And no, it went really good with all the talks and everything, and it's kind of taken off a bit. Went a bit quiet after my Facebook got taken down, and the trouble was I was getting messaged about 8 times a day saying, oh, be in my magazine, be in my podcast, be in all of this. And in the end I was like, I've only got a few hours a week to do this. I'm spending it all doing magazines and things. So I just said no more interviews, and well, from that most people sort of just thought I'd drifted away.
Yeah.
Because but no, I'm happy with what it's done over the last let's go over 2 years now. It's
you've inspired people, you've helped people, you've made people's day. That's a win.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I just said as long as one person sees me and just goes, "Oh, that guy's helping," maybe all that stuff in my cupboard, maybe I should just give that to charity and help out. And to see the effect it's had, particularly on the kids as well, the autism group has been fantastic. I know quite a few of the kids at the Comic-Con absolutely love it. And I mean, a lot of people don't see what goes on sort of in my messages as well, because I put a lot of stuff on the internet, but a lot of the stuff, like at one point I helped someone get away from suicide. At one point, I didn't tell anyone about that. I've got a few people to actually go to the doctors and get autism diagnosis.
Well done.
And the amount of people who've just said to me, "Oh, my kid's now doing beach cleans. He's seen you doing it," and it's just fantastic.
Amazing, yeah.
That's good. Things like that are just lovely to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there is good people out there. Go on, Loki. Sorry.
I hope to see people
Yeah, I
down
mean,
at
most
the,
people.
East Cowes Beach clean on the 23rd. I hope to see some people down there. I might try and do a little bit. Depends how my back decides to play up that day. But even if
I really want a lot of people to join in with the beach cleans. I mean, that's mostly why I decided to dress up like this. I mean, put myself through the heat of this thing, and people have said, why don't you just join the police, and why do you have to wear the superhero outfit? I'm just like, the majority of people who could do a real difference is the kids, because I mean, because I always said this about police, that in an ideal world there shouldn't even be police, because the kids should have had such a great upbringing of being nice to each other that they don't need to be bad as adults and don't even need police. So I wanted to get through to the kids when they were young and just sort of say, look, this is being nice in the community. You could do this when you grow up and help out and have a much nicer effect on the community, because everyone's just hating each other at the moment. It's just terrible.
Seems to be, isn't it? It's not everyone. I mean, like we've said, this geeky environment, it's helped so many of us. You know what I mean?
This group's been fantastic throughout the whole thing. Thank you so much, Rob.
Oh, wicked. Thank you.
And it's just been great to keep it through lockdown. But yeah, I want to help lots more people, because the trouble is at the moment I'm very limited, because I mean some people need a CRB check, and some people, the trouble is with a page on Facebook you can't actually message anyone first, so I'm sort of trying to tag people, say, can you message me so I can message you back, and it's just an absolute nightmare. Because I mean, when I first started this, obviously I was going out, I was doing the walks around, and I basically said, look, if I see any crime, I'll be reporting it. And I basically wanted to keep my identity a secret, so that none of it came back on my family if I was reporting crime and stuff. But now I'm mostly doing sort of just the beach cleans charity work. I think it's time that I think it's time that I take this off
Yay!
and finally be myself.
Yay.
Well done, mate. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you
I mean,
feel?
for the people, a lot cooler.
Yeah, I bet it's sweat, man.
But,
He's
I
dripping with sweat,
mean,
mate.
most people knew who I was anyway. But I mean, for people who don't know me, I'm Connor. I went to the Comic-Con as Bane before.
Yep.
And I had all the tubes coming out my back and everything. And before that was Vegeta. And no, I just thought now's the right time where I'm not going out at night and doing all this. It's more the charity work, the autism work.
Yeah.
And I thought, plus not having to wear that thing because it's absolutely roasting. But yeah, I really want to get the CRB check done and go into more places to do the autism talks. But I've really enjoyed doing it. Thank you, Rob, for all your help with the walk and everything. Much easier to talk now without it on.
Yeah, man, we can hear you that a little bit better as well. Those masks,
yeah,
it's killer. I did just quickly. I with my Deadpool mask and that. I thought with my Deadpool Rob gaming streaming thing and that. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to wear the mask and play a game. I can't see. Watch my language. Can't see hardly anything else.
It's impossible.
I won't swear. Do you know what? I played it and I won a game. My first ever game I won wearing the mask. And I was like, oh man, I've got to start wearing that more often. But they're a killer. I always said do a cosplay.
It takes it out of you in the end. I mean, when I first started, I just went on eBay and just went, oh, what's the cheapest sort of thing that looks superhero-ish? And I just shoved a few bits together and I've tried to expand on it to make it look more superhero, but yeah, the mask is just too hot. Especially most of the time, it steams up. It's a nightmare. But no, I'm really pleased to finally take it all off. And yeah, now I'm not doing all the sort of nighttime stuff. I want to help more people by having the CRB check. Hopefully, give some sort of more anti-bullying talks in schools and stuff, all the places that needed the CRB that I couldn't do before.
Yeah.
I mean, most people knew who I was anyway, because I mean, word travels quick around the island.
It does, unfortunately, but
it does.
I mean, there was
go on.
A lot of people. I mean, someone put a newspaper article about it basically at the start, because I mean, my voice is pretty much recognizable. I couldn't really hide it, unfortunately, because I did try and talk like this on Phil and Holly.
Bad man.
But as soon as I got on there, the nerves, I was shaking. I mean, you can tell in my voice while I was filming that I was like this, and it was just terrible. And I mean, the voice just went out the window. I was like, just a customer service voice.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, everyone pretty much knew who I was from that. But
either way, if people knew who you were or not, you've done a good job, man. You've raised money, you've helped people.
Thanks, bro.
Everyone is going to say that, except for the few morons that, there's always a few, unfortunately. No matter how many good deeds you do, there's always one that hates it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a whole folder of the people who've just been mean about it, and I use them in my PowerPoint presentations at the talks.
Yeah,
I do. Like, I've got like a 20-minute presentation about what I've done, what I plan to do, a bit about autism, and then there's a whole section devoted to people who've just made it a little bit of a joke. Then there's the serious sort of death threats section, and then there's also the ones who sort of done like, oh, when I first heard about this, I thought, oh, the island's a joke, and then I realised what you're doing, and I really respect you. And then obviously the nice comments and stuff that people have sent me, and it's been lovely. But no, I mean, I just use them I just use all the mean comments in my presentations, and we just laugh at all the people, just laugh at them there, and they get a good laugh out of it. Most of them can't believe it's that bad. I'm like, yeah, it's that bad. That's why we need to talk about online sort of bullying more. I mean, it doesn't bother me because I was a doorman. I've had people come up to me and say that the minute I leave my post and get out camera view, they're going to kill me in an alleyway. So
yeah, been there, done that. Yeah.
I mean, comments don't do anything for me. It's more the people who have seen people being mean to me online that it's affected.
Yeah.
because they're expecting me to just sort of react badly to it. I'm just like, oh, you said I look like an idiot, a stupid Power Ranger. Oh, that's sad. Have a nice day though. And people love it because no one ever replies after that because they just realize they can't do anything to hurt me over the
problem
internet.
with people like that, they haven't got the intelligence to back that up. You find that a lot. They'll throw an insult at you, but if you come back quickly enough, they're proper like, and then they run away anyway. So there's a lot of people like that on the internet.
I've seen all the way through my life that people responding to the bullying, it just encourages more. So just a quick sort of, I hope you have a nice day. It catches them off guard, and they don't reply back because they're not going to get anything out of me online. It's just, there's no need for it. It's nice. I mean, a lot of it was the confusion though of people thinking that I was just going to go beat up people and thought I was a law unto myself. And I'm just like, no, I'm just a guy walking around trying to charge people's phones and get a bit of money for charity.
Yeah.
Pick up a few face masks onto the beach.
Yeah, plenty of that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, either way, if you're the White Knight or Connor, you know what I mean, you've done a great job, man. So everyone's going to agree with that.
I'm really happy with how people have responded to it, and hopefully it's helped. Well, I know it's helped a few, but hopefully it's helped a lot of people. A lot of the kids, especially with now, some of them have got their autism diagnosis, where they didn't even know they had it before. I mean, I didn't when I was young. Yeah. When I was only diagnosed at 15, I think. But I mean, when I was younger, there was no one pretty much like me there. I mean, there was a special needs unit, but I didn't really see people like me. And in the end, I just thought I was an alien from another planet, and it was just. The relief when I finally got the autism diagnosis was fantastic, and it's helped a lot because I mean I've got two kids, and one's got ADHD and I think the other one's showing signs of autism, so it's probably it's helped a lot with my understanding of why they're doing what they're doing. And I encourage anyone that thinks they've got it to just go forward and make an appointment.
Once again, as Darren said in our previous, just talk about stuff helps. You know, if you, it's not always easy to get a doctor's appointment, especially at the moment. If you just talk to people, it is. If you just talk to people about it, say I'm going through something, and Josh picks up a comment from it, and Loki picks up a comment, and they go, well, actually, I've been through this. It may be this. Just talking about it helps. So once again, like Darren keeps saying, it is okay to talk about these things. That is the whole point of this episode, week, everything. It's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to talk about it.
I'd like to thank Darren again for his contribution to the Hero Walk as well.
That's absolutely. I hate to say it, but I did enjoy it. I really did enjoy it.
It's a memory.
Yeah, it was surprisingly fun. I thought in the heat wave, everyone would just melt, but it was great. And seeing all the people along the walk. I mean, that point where we took a toilet break at that cafe and people just running up and shoving pound coins in our pockets.
Oh, great, wasn't it? Just trying to find a picture quick to the point of like this sums up the walk, if I can find it. Hang on. Josh, you did say something then. You got cut off, I think.
Yeah,
sorry.
I was just saying how society is now accepting the learning difficulties, the fact that people have mental health issues. I think everything's moving in a positive direction. And it is largely because people like you come out and do things and do promote it and say, look, this is something that is there. And it helps people. And other people sat there going, do you know what? I think I might have be on a spectrum, maybe. And it doesn't affect everyone's lives as it's detrimental at all. Like the society needs this variation of people to function. And it's good to see that, like, especially that you see it in this group. Like, it's all out there. People are coming together, and that's what we want the human race to be going forward. Yes, you've still got the trolls and whatever else that are always going to ruin everything, but I think there's now more of us than there is then. You know,
We will
Yeah.
take over, man.
Yeah.
That sums up the walk. That's at the I don't know if about 6.
Oh,
like,
oh yeah.
What was that? Sorry, Rob.
That sums up the walk. That's me like die. Oh, you won't be at 6
Yeah,
and the
just
light.
flat out on the floor. I remember that photo.
That's just at the finish point of the lake. You won't be at 6 and the light
Oh.
bouncing that, but that's a
Yeah.
but
I mean, this group has been fantastic for everything. I mean, some people might not have joined at the right time, but I remember after the walk when that page on Facebook, I didn't even see it because I was doing dinner at the time. That page on Facebook, who basically took the mick out of the walk, and I think I don't know how many of the group messaged them in the end, but
loads,
loads.
You should have seen what my girlfriend Emma, she wrote to them. Freaking hell, you know what I mean? I laid right into it, and I am brutal with comments, and yeah, I really got my point across, but she just no holds barred, doesn't care. And yeah, but there was, like I said, there was at least probably about 15 people on the group that messaged that page, and there was even more, triple that, comments on the page as well, that from the group sticking up for us, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, it's good community. It is, like I said, if we can promote the sort of, you know, talking about mental health more, happy to do it on the page. I know I said recently I want it to stay geeky as possible, but if it's a case of, you know, you're feeling low and you don't want to talk about geeky stuff, still put a comment on the page, man. You don't have to be, oh, let's talk about Batman today just because I'm feeling low. Just say, is anyone free for a chat? Yeah, I am. You are, Josh, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, it's it goes almost hand in hand with geek culture. So many people we know, and you know, if you don't suffer from it, so yeah, it is common. And like I said, I think the mass majority of people in geek culture are aware of this. I mean, sure, we've still got people in the geek culture who will write a lot of foul-mouthed stuff on, you know, on the internet underneath things, but at the same time, there are a lot of people who are aware of these problems that they have. So yeah.
Loki, you wanted to add something, I believe?
Yeah, I partially to do with mental health. I have low vitamin D, which actually affects mental health. It causes raised anxiety, and that has definitely been more affecting me recently than it has in the past 2 or 3 years of my vitamin D being so low. And it's only something more recently that I found out about, but it was a bit of a surprise to me knowing that.
Yeah, new one to me. I didn't know that. So
yeah,
this is what
I felt that during this winter. So I just felt like this winter that I didn't get enough vitamin D over last summer. I definitely felt it. So I'm with Loki on this.
Oh, well done. See, this is what I'm trying to. Hopefully, this episode people will see it. If all of you share it a little bit, you know what I mean. It all helps. But thank you. Yeah, you know, and then people can watch it and go, oh, actually, maybe I need a bit more vitamin D. Maybe I need to get checked or talk to someone about these problems and stuff I'm having. And like I've put in, I did a pre-recorded intro to this sort of thing. And it's basically saying, I personally guarantee that I will respond to any comment on the group. If you having a bad day, I have to approve every post anyway. And I try my best. Obviously, I'm going back to work on Monday, but I still try my best to, I do check every comment as best as I can to make sure there's no bullying, no abuse. But it's happened once or twice in the group. It's been swiftly dealt with by me. I got a load of abuse for it, but they've gone. Yeah, there's a few people still in there I keep my eye very closely on, but majority are absolutely brilliant. And I can personally guarantee that if you're having a bad day, whoever you are in the group or anywhere, if you put it on the group, it will be instantly dealt with. You'll get support from me and infinite group members. And I know all you guys will back that comment up as well. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
Yeah, I always said that if anyone ever needed any help with anything, just to message my page as well. I've had, obviously what I said about suicide and some people saying about autism whether they should go and get checked. And I just always say to them, look, go get checked. It's the best thing when you hear that and you finally realise why people may look a bit differently at you, and then realise that that's what makes you you, and it's good.
Yep, that's exactly it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone's an individual. So just express yourselves. That's the most important thing. If you suppress yourself all the time, you're only going to make yourself worse.
Yeah.
So just talk.
But yeah, hopefully, like I said, people will see this and think, you know what, I'm going to get in touch with one of you guys and go from there. You know, I mean, I know the majority of us have dealt with mental health in one way or another, be it ourselves, family members or friends or whatever. But, you know, there is people that are qualified to deal with this on the group as well. I mean, Gaz from Idle Mind, he actually worked in that sort of environment. So he's actually trained to deal with it. And I know he said if people are having a tough time, just give them a shout. You know what I mean? So there's so much support there. You just don't be scared to ask for it. It is nervous. You don't want to go to the doctors and be prodded around, do you? You know what I mean? So sometimes asking a friendly face or a friend or whatever is much better to start with, at least anyway.
Last little thing I'd like to add is for the people my age and for the parents that have kids my age, a good place to go for professionally is the Youth Trust.
Yeah. They're
very good. I'm currently on the waiting list to hear if I've got counselling.
Okay.
But they're very good. Their first session can vary from 30 minutes to an hour long, just basic general questions that you'd expect. And I was only waiting about 2 weeks, and then they had appointments available. So they're quite a quick, reliable service.
Yeah.
From my experience so far.
So if you can do me a favour, when this airs tomorrow, if you put a link to their Facebook or website, please, or a number or something, just so people can, because I mean, I could obviously Google it, but not everyone knows how to do that. You know what I mean? Most people should, but not everyone does. So if you just put a comment with this helped me, go on.
I need to shoot off now, Rob. I've got
thank you. That's all right. Thank you so much for joining us, man. You've been amazing.
It's okay.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Good to see you all.
Yeah, good to see you, man. It's been too long.
See your face.
Yeah. I hope I'll be getting some stuff set up, and hopefully, I'm due my next COVID jab in the next 2 weeks. So hopefully after that, I'll get straight back on the beach cleans and all the charity work, and hopefully get ready for the carnival in summer, because the float sounds amazing.
Yeah. Get in touch. We will sort it out. We are running out of time anyway, so we've got 10 minutes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Connor, White Knight, for unmasking and joining us. Take it easy, man.
It's been great and a lot cooler.
Yeah.
See you later.
Cheers, man. Yeah. Anyone want to add anything before we get kicked off? We got 10 minutes.
Yeah, I just want to say, well, this actually goes beyond geek culture. It's, at the moment, as we all know, there's this great social divide happening in certainly Western culture. You're either snowflake, council culture, blah, 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 or you're pro Trump, no, frightened or this lot. And at the moment, not everyone, but there is this great divide, and it seems to keep getting further. And if you have a great opinion, you seem to get attacked from both sides. People go, "Oh, this side's attacking you," or "This side's attacking you." It's actually both sides. It's kind of like a knee-jerk reaction, because I've had this from people who's like, "Whoa, no, that's not what I think." And a lot of it, I think, does include social network. It's just we need to come together, compromise, even if it's so. But what it needs to be said is try to avoid knee-jerk reactions to things. This is what newspapers do, and it seems to be what people also do when they see something on Facebook, and it does. This all affects mental health for everyone. So
you're saying the internet has its plus and minuses. You know, it's
oh, I know.
You can,
but it's not just the internet; it's in general. But I do know that this is one of the things: is if someone sees something, they're automatically going to assume this person's far to the right, far to the left. I know that sounds political, but it's not just that. That they're either thinking one thing completely, they're a complete a-hole, or I don't know why I put it left, because some of my beliefs are to left, or they think they're, I hate the freaking term snowflake. It's a hypocritical insult anyway. Or they think that, and it's not necessarily the case. Don't necessarily think the worst of someone because of what they've just said. It might not even be what they meant. And this is what the last, aside from COVID, this is what, and Trump, this is what's going to happen over, well, halfway through, probably 2016 to 2025. This is what this era is going to be remembered for. It is.
John, I've got to cut you, man. I know you're on one there, man.
No, that's it.
I just want to give everyone a chance to finish up. Josh, have you got anything to add?
No, I think I've said a lot. Obviously, if anyone needs to talk, I'm on the page all the time.
Thank you.
I know what people go through. I've seen it, but like both sides. So
yeah,
if someone needs to talk, like just put a message there.
Yeah.
And or send me a direct message and I'll phone you, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
appreciate
do that. I mean, also you've also got like Samaritans and stuff if you need some urgent help. But it doesn't make me laugh. Their tagline at the moment is "Call and leave a message," which I think might be a bit too late. By the time that, yeah. But I think usually they do answer the phones. But
yeah, I'm sure
there are professional help services there if you need them.
But if not, we're here.
Yeah.
Thank you for your bits and bobs this evening. Darren, anything to add?
Oh, not really. I mean, Josh,
you covered yours in your bit.
Yeah, but Josh just hit the nail on the head. Everyone is here to listen. They will offer you, all the open arms, open ears. If you are in that situation where you need professional help, Samaritans, Mind, all the numbers are freely available on the internet, and please use them.
Yeah, it's important. Loki, anything to add?
As Josh said, I'm here if anyone needs to talk or if someone needs to meet up, like whenever needed. I typically can. So I'm happy to help anyone.
Yeah. So this just proves that as a geeky community, we've all come together and we've got this little family we've created on that. It's like so stupid as a Facebook group, but it's supported all of us, including myself, through lockdown, and hopefully others. And then they'll see this, and hopefully it will just, even if it helps one person, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? And just makes you think a little bit. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. So John, Josh, Darren, Loki, and me. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Stick around because I will chat to you for 2 seconds in a sec. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, then.
Welcome back, guys. Episode 9 still going on. I know that's been a long episode. Thank you, everyone, if you stay tuned. Hopefully you did. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Darren coming on twice. Loki, John, Josh, White Knight himself. You've seen it first. The White Knight unmasked on Deadpool Rob's Geek Chat. I'm having a proud geeky moment at the moment. That was awesome of him. Such a nice guy. And hopefully that weight is lifted off his shoulders a little bit, where he doesn't do the night patrol so much anymore, like he said. He can actually be himself and carry on with things and bring it forward, doing anti-bullying, autism awareness and all that sort of stuff, and the beach cleans, which is awesome of him. Quick rundown, really. My voice is going because I said this interview's been going on for hours now. Thank you so much to everyone for the lovely comments about the group being a backbone and support system to everyone. Got a bit emotional when everyone said thank you, I must admit, 'cause I do take it very seriously, believe it or not. I know we all joke around on there. but I do take it seriously. I look at all the comments and approve every post, so I do take it seriously. So thank you so much for the nice comments from everyone tonight and just in general. But as we've said now, Darren said it and everyone else has said it now, it is okay, guys, to not be okay. Deadpool Rob guarantee right here again is I will support every one of you. If it's, you know, you need a bit of company, you need support, you need just a chat. As I've said to a few of my friends that are struggling at the moment and stuff, if you just want to come round as soon as these restrictions ease, if you want to just come round, sit and watch TV, don't have to say anything. That's okay. You know, you're not on your own. You don't need to struggle on your own. There's always someone that will help you, be it a professional, a friend, a friendly face, even a stranger. I mean, not everyone on that watches this and is on the group knows me, but I will personally be there for all of you. So will Emma, so will Gaz, so will John, Josh, Loki, Darren, White Knight, everyone on the group, you know what I mean? So don't be scared to ask for help. Phone a doctor if you need it. Have a chat. Get yourself help if that's what it takes. If not, distract yourself. Do a cosplay. Do some art. Play a game. Watch a film. Talk. Start a topic in the group. Talk about Batman. Talk about Turtles. Talk about Deadpool. Say hi. How are you lot? People will respond. I guarantee it. If they don't, I will. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there because my throat is killing me. This has been a long interview, so thank you so much to everyone who has listened, joined in, shared, loved, liked, you name it. This is a big episode, so thank you so much. Hopefully it will help, even if it helps one person. But yeah, I'm tired now. I'm going to sleep. Thank you so much. Episode 9 done. You're all awesome. I love you all. I'll see you on episode 10. See you later, guys. Cheers. Thank you.